Hello internet friends, my name is Bay. Welcome back for more Final Fantasy XIV DAWNTRAIL Patch 7.1 Crossroads MSQ playthrough here. We just finished the dungeon. Now we are going to start with the next quest, Among the Abandoned. Kryl is eager to begin searching the research facility. While we've discerned the purpose of the research conducted here, the traces of it that remain might afford us greater insight into what came of it. Let us look around for information as well as a way to the upper level. All right. Is there going to be a different area we can explore within this walkthrough? It would be quite stinky in here. What happened to the people here? Did they all leave? Or did we already meet them? I don't know if they left, in a manner of speaking. To think that people actually volunteered their souls for these experiments. Success was far from guaranteed, and even at its best, even in the best case, they would cease to be men. Was their devotion to Zeralja so absolute? Won't open. I don't think it'll yield to your shoulders either. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. Find the key. A lift can be seen behind the wrought iron gate. As sturdy as it appears, the gate would likely resist attempts to force it open. A security panel is nearby. Perhaps a verification key will open the way. That's cool. Well, we actually get... That's neat. We get to go to like a different section of it. It isn't just tied to the dungeon. That's neat. I wonder what Backlog would make of this research into transferring souls. That's an interesting aside. Backlog is the little dark crystal looking character from Shadowbringers and Endwalker that helped facilitate the whole us bringing our friends in little crystals, bringing their souls back across the rift. The researchers likely moved between the upper and lower levels. Perhaps we can find a key among their belongings. We'll sure try. Makes me angry to think about what they did here. A journal, you say? They're recruiting volunteers for the next experiment. I know I'm not as bright as the others, but they wouldn't laugh at me if I was stronger than them. This might be my chance. Soul transferred a few days ago. I can write. Can write good, yes. I am good. Very good. Getting hard to control strength. Today, bit offhand of feeder. Oh, bit offhand of feeder. Cannot help it. So strong. Hungry. Always hungry. Cannot control. Eat. I must eat. An eater must eat. You find nothing that resembles a verification key. Perhaps you should search elsewhere. I wonder if that was like, is that an Atticus? Another journal talked about Atticus. An open cabinet, you don't say. Supplies to the staff are neatly arranged within the cabinet. Among the various items is a manual outlining regulations and tranquilizing gas to be used in emergencies. You dig deeper and find a verification key. Perhaps to be used to open the iron gate. It could be. It could indeed. Found the key? Great. I'll call the others. Because this is the new thing they do. They always have this like explore the dungeon after you do the dungeon sequence, but we never go to somewhere else. within it. Seems the key can be used to operate the lift as well. Up we go. We gotta all get new shoes after this. Definitely need new shoes. So this is the observatory. Ah, I figured this would be voiced too. Weird. Didn't expect it to be similar, but this is a far cry from the temple that held Valagarmanda. All the machinery appears to still be in operation. I expect there are auxiliary systems in place to ensure the monitoring can continue, even in emergencies. The warnings indicate various anomalies related to the seal's failure. Most likely, for a blessing we managed to fell the beast before it could cause harm. Right then, let's see if we can find some clues about Golulja's mother. I think I can use this terminal. Shale taught me how. Alright. There's so much data. I don't know what we should look at. Perhaps we can narrow down the search by inputting the name Teshelja. Tishalja. I brought up a lot of results. They seem to say the same thing. Tishalja, Administrator of Experimental Treatments, Research Logs. Sounds good, doesn't it? Chances are the data is encrypted, and even if not, it'll take considerable time to go through it all. And let us take it with us to the back room and have Shale analyze it. Agreed. Alright, I'll transfer to the storage device I brought. Boy, just walking around with a USB. There. It's finished. Thank you so much for bringing me all the way out here, everyone. If you're happy, then so am I. Besides, I was able to learn more about my brother as well. It was a fruitful adventure for the both of us. Yeah, I don't know about the teeth smile on a Molja. It's just kind of something out of a horror story. Look like weird shark face. I admit the Teralvadral gave me a fright at first, but I remembered who felled the mighty Valagarmanda. Yeah, us, technically. Me. I'll not soon forget our visit to that facility. It was a troubling reminder of the depravity that can arise from the belief that souls are simply a resource to be exploited. Kuwasa is good at driving the hover cargo. I wonder if I can learn how to drive it too. I'm glad we could find what we sought in that abandoned facility. Well, maybe. It's safe to say my brother returned to Uiawata, or the Teralvadral. He wanted his power, no matter the cost. And here we are. The authorities will doubtlessly wish to be informed about the facility and its contents. But first things first, let us deliver the data to Shale. To the back room. I wonder if we get this all solved in this, or will this breadcrumb lead to the next patch? I do wonder. Indeed. I am heading to the back room. Yes. I have some cards, everybody. I can't click on you, but here I have some cards. There you go. Perfect. Oh, Geode is here. Geode Dude is here. It was Shiel who gave me the storage device before we left. She said that we probably need it, and we did. Kaluja had no trouble keeping up during the outing. He really is his father's son. Having now spent some time in these harsh environs, I feel I have a better understanding of how much of a steadying presence Sphene was to her people.
You've had information on Kaluja's mother. You lot never cease to amaze.
From what I can see, things haven't changed much since the funeral. People are still listless like before. I mean, it's been what? A few hours? I've been thinking, it may behoove us to learn how to use the various devices found throughout Alexandria. More late than never, after all. The data will be in good hands with Shale. Quite. Welcome back. Kaluja has already given me the storage device. There looks to be a wealth of data, all of which is encrypted, so I'll need time to process everything. In that case, Alize and I might take ourselves around the city and check on the people. Aye, the mood has us a bit worried. I don't know if there's anything we can do to help, but we'll see. Understood. I'll let you know as soon as I finish my work. Thank you. We'll see you again soon. Bum, 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 bum. Recruiting the files isn't the hard part. It's when the number of digits in a password is unknown that the long nights begin. Fair enough. I can imagine so. All right, next quest is going to be Guidance of the Hhetso. Geode's concern is writ plain on his face.
Alize isn't wrong. The mood out there is still grim. Some of the Turali remember a time before they were dependent on the soul system, and even they're unsettled and wondering aloud if they'll have the chance to reunite with old friends and family before they pass on. With good reason, too. The journey home won't be an easy one for those who've grown old. That's why it's mostly been younger folk who've been leaving for Tural, ones with no elders to care for.
Word of that problem has reached us in Tuliolal. My brother is doing all he can to see the Jacques Tural Railroad restored to operation so that people may come and go more freely. Unfortunately, the tracks only go as far as Vanguard, so some traveling by foot will still be necessary.
Even so, the railroad would make things a sight easier. How long before it's back in service?
I couldn't say. When I left for the visit, Koana seemed reluctant to make promises. But while Shell's working on the data, we should go and see the state of it for ourselves. To Shaoloni Station, then. I'll make sure to keep Koana informed. Okay. But check on the railroad?
Let us know if there's good news concerning the railroad. We can disseminate it through our network and hopefully put some minds at ease.
Raha and I will keep an eye on things here in your absence. I'd be astonished if they were able to restore railroad service so quickly. The locomotive was nigh obliterated in its collision with the dome. That is true. We did ram it into the freaking gate. But we had to build a whole new train, I guess, basically. Say hello to Koana for me. We'll have plenty of time while I work on this. Trust me. Yeah, this might be next patch. I'm getting potentially next patch vibes with this. It'd be weird if Shale's all of a sudden like, I cracked all the code. Bleh. So I'm assuming it's going to be at a later date. Knock, knock. It looks like... Hello, everyone. Operations are still suspended, but we're trying to remain optimistic. It is good to see you looking well yourselves. I filled Koana in. He asked that we continue to support the Alexandries as best we can. Okay. Let's see.
Vow of resolve. And bacon to boot. What can I do for you?
It's not how the name is actually pronounced, but that's what everyone memes about it now. Hoping for some good news about the railroad. There's an increasing number of people looking to return to Tyrol that can't make the journey on foot.
I see. As it happens, the Vow of Reason is also on its way here to take stock of the situation. Yeehaw! Ah, scratch the on his way.
Speak of the devil. Whoa! Aaronville's got new drip. Great. Now the fandom gets some Aaronville cleavage. Good, great. I'm sure the thirsty... I mean, every patch will have something, but there's so much... Oh, there's a lot of Aaronville thirst. And Bakul Jaja, which is the weird stuff. Bakul Jaja is apparently in the Alliance Raid questline, which we'll be doing later, but... You hit with the looking good? Gasp. Did our little Bun finally outgrow his old clothes? I have to. Even though coming from another Bun boy, it's a little bit weird, but that's still funny. Although I wonder if it'll even give him a different... He's gonna have a different reaction for that, right? That's what his mom was calling him. Yeah. Gotta hit him with it. Yeah. Stop that. As you all know, my previous attire was that of a gleaner, and I have chosen a different path. It was time for a change. You hear about the railroad too? It was in part for my sake that the original Dawnblazer was sacrificed, so I felt it only right that I assist with its replacement. Speaking of which, I assume Lamachi has explained the growing urgency of the need. What do you have to report? What have you to report, even?
The new locomotive was on track for completion, but we're having difficulty pulling her into the station, in a manner of speaking. You see, when we used the Dawnblazer to get into the dome, urgency outweighed all other considerations. And now we're back to our original problem. How to run the railroad without upsetting the inhabitants of Miwason.
That is the Ronik. Though the Hhetso that followed them are none too pleased at their Hhetso being spooked by the noise of the locomotive either. My god. All the names. The solution I've devised is to quieten the railroad should address that complaint. You're gonna quiet the tracks? I guess that is possible. Interesting. But a silent train presents a difficult danger. The Ronik will need to be deterred from wandering across the tracks. I suppose we can't just blow the whistle at them, and then they'll panic and put off their grazing again. Weren't the rail routes plotted to avoid the Ronik's preferred grazing areas, though? It's odd that they're getting so close in the first place. The Ronik's grazing patterns have shifted since the tracks were laid. I'm not certain why, but I intend to ask the people of Miwason for their insight. As a major proponent of the railroad, I have a duty to assist in this matter, and I, too, would hear what the Hhetso have to say about it. They are the ones most affected, after all. I believe it would be our best to begin by consulting their leader, Hhetso. The rest of you can accompany us to the Hhetso encampment if you'd like. Oh, we're going to talk to the... Okay. I know who we're going to talk to.
For now, we'll continue our work on the silent locomotive as planned. Just hoping that whatever you come up with won't require a total overhaul.
I know where we're going. Yep. This little encampment up here with people that have been living off the land for the longest, maybe? Just a longer time. Yeah. Do a lot of, there's a lot of nodes around here for gathering that are some of the folklore nodes. And the rare nodes. As committed as the Hhetso to tradition, they are amiable to the unfamiliar, or so I am told. I think all this can be packed up at a moment's notice to follow whatever the Ronique lead. Ronique? The buffalo, basically. A prior visit to the Hhetso was also on railroad business. Pray they do not take us for trade enthusiasts. Kinda. That's Koana. Valor reason, is it not? I can scarce believe it. Alright, let's talk to this guy again. We were here to get supplies to make the train. Which is also on brand because, again, there are a lot of gathering nodes that are right over here that you would knock around their trees for. Thou of resolve, thou of reason, I bid you welcome to our camp. But what brings you all the way to Mehwaetson? I thank you for seeing us. Our visit concerns the matter of the Jacques-Tarot Railroad. Again. Again. And we pan up. You two have noted the Ronique's unexpected change in behavior then. My son, Hhetso, has been looking into the matter. Hhetso? Normally we'd expect the Ronique to keep to their favored grounds nearby for a while yet, and despite a thorough search, we haven't found anything wrong with the quantity or quality of the grazing in Piario and Yantanane. Good luck. If they refuse to keep to where they usually would, instead pushing westward towards your railroad. I certainly see no cause for this unseasonal migration. Nevertheless, should they continue to move west, we will follow. As any true Hhetso would, I suppose. As you may have surmised, I am of Hhetso descent. My parents traveled with the Ronique as well, though I myself have no memory of the experience. I was left behind as a babe, you see, during such a migration, one of many sacrifices necessitated by a nomadic lifestyle, I am forced to assume. Yeah. A chance encounter with the kind Pelu merchant was the only reason I survived. Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade that I might fend for myself. I became a stall keeper in Tuligal's markets, and this is where the Dawn Servant found and adopted me. I had already been at the palace some time when Lamachi came to join us. Like me, she had been cast aside by her parents. I knew the pain of solitude and wanted to spare her that suffering. As this tiny child's new brother, I swore I would always be there for her. Truly. I had never heard of the Ronique choosing a path so arduous as to force such a terrible decision, nor of any Hhetso willingly leaving their own flesh and blood behind. There must have been some exceptional circumstance. I cannot say. The idea of following their footsteps that I might better make excuses for their actions never much appealed to me. A good reason? Wouldn't you want to know? Even if it might help you better understand the Ronique's current behavior? It's less about that and more about him. Wouldn't you want to know? Maybe not. Maybe it's unnecessary? As is so often the case, you are correct. Well, my discomfort with the Hhetso way may arise from fear of reopening old wounds rather than blind fervor for innovation. It would nevertheless see me repeat past mistakes. And to refuse to learn one of our country's treasured traditions would make me a poor dawn servant indeed. Please teach me of the Ronique and what they mean to you. I promise to listen with an open mind. We would be delighted. In the meantime, your companions are welcome to look around. Will you learn of Hhetso culture with me? I'd like to approach this with fervent curiosity that you and my sister share, but it would be useful to know whether I am doing it correctly. And it's settled. We'll learn more of the Ronique, and we'll take a look around the plains, and perhaps in the process we'll find the answers we seek. I wonder, is Aaronville wearing new armor from the treasure dungeon? Is he wearing a new armor set that players can get? He's definitely not wearing the new hand land gear, that's for sure. 'Cause that has like, the new crafter armor has like little bionic arms on it, like you're ready to strap on the backpack from some sci-fi game. It looks weird. It has like little grippy arms and little strappy things on it, which kind of doesn't match a lot of the tone. I guess it could be more Solution 9 oriented though, but for that future aesthetic. A good way to learn about our way of life is do what we do. I hope you're not above manual labor. I'm not the most experienced, I'm ashamed to admit, but I shall put forth every effort. That's all we ask. Take these tools. I am definitely not adverse to it. I have done much gathering in this game. I've not finished all my gatherers, but they're all... It's just fishing isn't done. I have tried going to do some ocean fishing to get big XP, and every time I go, the boat's already full. You have to be there like right when they open, because there's only so many slots. And unless you're there immediately, if you're a couple minutes late, screwed. Now, introduce yourself to anyone who looks busy and ask if you can help. They'll be happy to teach you what to do in exchange for another pair of hands to do it. Let's meet back here later to share what we've learned. It'll be a joy to share our traditions with the new Dawn servants, as we once did with Galul Jaja. Truth be told, we don't get many visitors keen to learn about our way of life. Anyone around here will tell you whatever you want to know, and then some. Because what am I looking at here? We got... I mean, mining and botany was done really quick. Fishing is almost there. Slowly but surely. And then I only did alchemist and culinarian to max for food and potions for raid first. Everyone else is just whenever I get around to chewing through some lead quests or doing stuff with the Wahoo Meki. My Weaver is almost done, right? And armor, so. Hello. As you stroke the Ronique's coat, you note that many portions are shaggy and tangled. This one's fur is a bit overgrown, but a good brushing should thin it out. Let's give it a try. You need the right tool for the job. Mind you, a comb of the type you're used to would just get lost in the tangle. Like as not. Fur brush. Ah, Geppetto sent a Ronique brush with you, did he? How like him. Now just run it through one little patch at a time, gently. Would you be out here brushing the buffalo? You buffalo brushing? You dutifully brush the Ronique until your arms grow weary from the prolonged battle with its coat. It appears much tidier now. The same cannot be said for your clothes, which have acquired a new coat of their own. Well done. With less excess fur, our friend here will be more comfortable in the afternoon heat and less susceptible to illness. A combed coat also makes it easier for us to identify injuries, should the need arise. Yeah, I guess. I don't know if indigenous traveling peoples brush the wild buffalo or bison or cows or whatever. It's charming, but it's just because the scope of all like areas and towns in 14 can only be so big. Because obviously it's only like 3/10. How many people live in this tribe? 20? You know what I mean? Whereas like actual tribes like this would easily be in the hundreds, right? If not more. To be a little more accurate. You just can't have that in a game. You can't have people too much. It's got to be a downscaled little. It's like a vignette of what it represents. You're learning about the Hhetso way of life, are you? I may have a thing or two to share, but rather than talking your ear off, let me test your powers of deduction. I find answers much easier to recall later if I arrive at them myself. Our Hhetso provides us with something that we use in medicines, poultices, and soap to drive away pests and to sustain our fires. What is it? Probably dung. Well, there's a story here, but that is indeed the correct answer. We discovered myriad uses for Ronique chips over time, each a boon to our way of life. Where there is a need, our Hhetso always provides. Yeah, that's super common. There are quite a number of animal droppings that are used in a myriad assortment of things. At least in a culture or a lifestyle such as this. This won't do. The wind will go right through it. Me without my needle and sinew. Mending kit. A box containing bone needles, sinew, scraps of hide, and other helpful mending accoutrements. Waste not, indeed. Eat up, guys. None of this animal goes to waste. I'm just getting weird Ace Ventura flashbacks now. That's not the first one. It's like the third. That's the first one I've said something about. Yep. Waste nothing. Oh, Mr. Precisa, what I need. I should be able to patch up the covering now. Given how often we pack up and reassemble our tents, they're bound to get the occasional tear. Fortunately, the Ronique hide they're made of is durable enough that we generally needn't worry. Also completely understandable. I'm afraid I finished with my task for the time being, but since you're so eager to learn about our way of life, I want to tell you a bit about our migration customs. If you're here, you likely already know that the Ronique are our Hhetso, our guides, that we travel with through the turning of the seasons. We trust them to lead us to fertile lands, all we need to survive. But you may not know that sometimes the herd splits into two, bound for different paths. On those occasions, we Hhetso must always part with half our number. You may think this is a strange and stressful custom, but over the years, it has seen us visit new lands and broaden our horizons as a people. This, too, is the wisdom of the Hhetso. That could be a breadcrumb to what happened to Koona. He may not have been left behind, but he may have been separated. Possibly, anyway. The smell of the grass and the wind, which is a good thing, I promise. You could nearly be mistaken for one of us, or at least an adventurous Shetona. I have to wonder how Val Koona's getting on. I assume he would be reluctant to get his hands dirty, but it seems he wished to understand us was sincere. His wish to understand us. Ah, there he is now. Is a big buffalo. He did the ear wiggle. Apologies for my tardiness. I was tasked with the grazing Ronique and ended up rather far afield. I found myself wandering hither and thither at my companion's inclination. To force us back to the trail seemed inappropriate. But how was your own work? Have you anything to share? Let's see. That's our life revolves around the Ronique, but in turn the people receive all they need. Well, the Ronique are treasured members of this community, as important as family. Number one seems fine. Yes.
I feel the truth of this myself. I was hesitant to leave my fate to the whims of the Hhetso rather than tread man-made paths. I arrived where I was meant to be, all the same. Mine is not the only way. Though at times I lack the experience to know otherwise, my inability to conceive of how a decision might be right does not mean that it is wrong. My parents had a duty to the Ronique as they did to me, and so I wonder if their leaving me behind was not so selfish an act as I once believed. I have no way to know, of course, and regardless, this has no bearing on our present concerns. We are here in service of the people of Taral, after all. Nevertheless, I thank you for helping me find deeper meaning in what we've done today, and I will endeavor to remain curious, especially where the Hhetso are concerned. I'm glad to hear that, Valkoana. You're welcome among our herd anytime. It's cute. It's just more world building for these characters. We didn't have a ton of time with Koana in the MSQ. He was only part of certain areas of it, so clearly having a little bit more time with him is good. Oh, it's just Koana. Where's everyone else? I don't know where everyone else is. They didn't come back. All right. This and one more to go. Next quest up is The Warmth of Family. Koana appears loath to part from his Ronique companion. Got a little art teaser there. Get some voice work coming in. Koana, how did it go? I believe I finally understand the significance of the Hhetso. They wouldn't be so weird. Sorry, tangent. Obviously, they're not an important part of the overall, and they're just creatures that kind of populate areas. But when you're going to use animal beasts in your cutscenes, but they don't have animated eyes, they're just painted and they have no eyelids, you can't at least just make eyelids and make these eyes work. They're just a painted texture, and they look so creepy. They nourish the Hhetso as they grow and provide warmth and companionship in a harsh and unpredictable world. They are the equal of any man, not beasts to be tamed. Moreover, Ronique are sensitive. Though we may treat their injuries or brush their coats to keep them hale, they must ever be free to follow their instincts and seek lands where they might thrive. The Hhetso will never cage them, and neither should we. To control their migratory patterns or capture those who wander too close to the tracks is out of the question. Then it is peculiarly important to advance our original line of inquiry. Fortunately, we were able to visit the Ronique's once favored grazing grounds. As we were told, the grass looks fine, but the place is too quiet. It's not just the Ronique, even the birds and field mice have fled. We did encounter one pack of Ceratoraptors. The Ceratoraptors. Those are the pterodactyl looking things? But they look to be passing through in a hurry. Typically, that sort of behavior in the fauna will be associated with natural disasters, earthquakes, landslides, and the like. Well, the Hhetso would have surely put two and two together. Were they caused geological? I measured the area's aether to be certain. There was indeed nothing to suggest recent environmental disruption, but I did notice one anomaly. A strong etheric signature to the east, moving across the plain, albeit slowly. A large animal, perhaps? Or what do you think, Koana? I mean, in this zone, there's the weird, crazy, giant snake
It's basically it's a Tyrol Vidral, essentially. It's the world boss for this zone. I don't know if they're going to tie that into the story at all, because that's just clearly a gameplay mechanic. So what's moving across the zone?
Given we are where we are, I believe we are dealing with a powerful beast, a predator perhaps, given the local fauna's behavior.
One of the raptors we saw looked like it had a bite taken out of its tail, or something with very large fangs.
It couldn't be a Turu Hhetso?
A Turu. Double T, U-R-U, double H. A Toruritso, I guess.
Toruritso?
Ronique Reaver in the common tongue. Our people have, it's so much easier to say. People have several names for such creatures. Fangs that steal Hhetso in the night is another evocative one. Ronique can fend off many predators with their horns, but not the Turoretso. Their scales are tough as adamant, and neither horn nor arrow can pierce them. A well-toothed carnivore with an unusually tough hide. I cannot recall any such fauna in this region. They usually roam the wilds in the northeast. There's not that much land in the northeast of here, though. It's just like right around the edge of the river. I mean, in the overall world, there's more. But in the playable space, there's not a lot of northeast. And most herds keep well clear of them. I can't tell you why this one is so far from home, and its pack both. In any case, I believe the source of the Ronique's consternation is clear. As our next move, we must drive the Reaver away, that they might return to their grazing lands in peace. All right. Easily talking about non-playable space, yeah, for sure. Because this zone is actually not that big.
Never fear. We will make certain the beast threatens you no more.
Yeah, there's not a ton of space up there. But clearly on the world map there would be. On the overworld map. Oh, solo duty. Yeah, cause see, it's like just this is it. But if you bounce out, see, on the map, so there's all this area that goes off in Jacques Tyrol, which you bounce all the way out. We're right here by this. We're by this little lake. So all this, right? That's actually not on the map. Yeah. Solo duty. We'll go white mage for this, since I don't want to solo DPS as an Astrologian. Oh, I want to talk to the people first. The Ronique Reaver is a clear threat to the local population. We cannot allow it to roam unchecked. But it won't do for us to go. See what I mean? This is an earlier conversation we were having. But it won't do for us to go running off in a search without us having made proper preparations. And if others returning from across the plain have spotted it, then it may be able to inform us of its recent behavior and where it might be found. Oh, it's a multi-battle. Ah, multi-battle. Probably should do it as a tank. So it's at least some more than just hitting 2 buttons. But my tanks are lower eye level, so. Oops. It might sync to me. It did say 730 though. So that's what. Those Ronique Reavers must have a hefty set of teeth. I'm not worried. We fought worse. A powerful creature behaving unusually. Left to its devices, it may well become a Tyrol Vidral. We must attend to its ire that happens. Tend to its air that happens. Yeah, because my white mage is a little behind because I still have a crafted weapon. So it might be a max high level thing. Yeah. but it's gonna sink me. So yeah, if you're above, you'll be synced. We'll see. We'll do it as a white mage. That's fine. This section might be voiced now.
Help! Help! Dude, Hhetso is coming this way.
I almost pronounced it right. As if on cue.
It has beasts across the plains in a panic, and our Ronek are practically paralyzed with fear. We must get them to safety.
Has it always been Ronek, not Ronique? I feel like I've heard people pronounce it differently then, if I've been confused by it. Oh well.
We can assist by helping to calm the creatures. Once they're less agitated, it should be possible to hurt them.
And after they're out of harm's way, we'll deal with the Ronek Reaver.
I suggest you remain here to attend to the Ronek when they arrive.
They'll be safe with me. Please, be careful out there.
Going white mage for this too, I actually have like, you know, the battle armor on, so.
Make haste! We must protect the Ronek!
I guess it's Ronek, not Ronique. But whatever.
Don't worry, we're right behind you.
I can't move yet. There we go. It's like a whole open area for this duty. Oh?
There they are!
Yo, he do be sprinting though?
They're terrified. We must do what we can to soothe them.
Okay, Aaronville. We gotta go pet the buffalo.
That herd should be all right. Let's look for stragglers. The Ronek are to rally too. None shall be left behind. There must be something up ahead. Come! There!
These are no match for the likes of us.
Oh, the pterodactyls are the yee see ya. Oh yeah, Holy is a quicker cast now. They lowered Holy's cast time. Oh, the raptors are these weird lizard
Panic
things?
was clearly an understatement.
I'm not in an actual dungeon, so I can see spell effects because we're in open world technically.
More are coming.
Oh, you have to take the tank tethers?
Right on the mark! Right on the mark!
Right on the mark. Blasted. Whoa.
You're mine.
He's a big gator. The alpha alligator, in fact. Oh, lots of alligators. That's toxic.
All or nothing then.
Critical bite. Oh. How does that not hurt the buffalo? He's got that trait from his D&D character sheet where he doesn't do friendly fire, clearly. Or it precisely only hits the alligators and not any of the Ronek. Sure, of course. Also, yes, magic. Of course, yes, magic, yes. Big gator.
It seems that did the trick.
Mm-hmm.
For the fodder, at least. But where's...
Oh. Oh, it's the crystal dinosaur thing. Yeah, okay.
Look there! We've got a big one coming!
Yeah.
Impenetrable scales and wicked fangs.
Yep.
That's a Ronek Reaver, and no mistake.
There! That one there!
It's a pretty cool model for a big crystal T-Rex.
Not so fast!
Heroic, but
Even should it cost me my life.
let's not get hasty.
I will save the Hhetso!
Ah! Kona! Are you alright?
Do not concern yourself with me. Get the Ronek to safety!
There. You've nothing to fear.
They really should have animated eyes if they're this heavily featured.
Right! Let's finish the job!
I made a vow to our people. You shall plague them no longer!
All right, damn. It's basically like a trial boss. Kind of looks like it. I wonder how much HP it has. I mean, it's a solo duty boss, but... Now you get blasted.
You'll find the vow of reason is not without resolve.
Okay, it does have...
Damn it! Not even a scratch!
So it has a damage phase we gotta get to.
Buy me some time to think, will you?
I think it's taking only 10% damage.
It must have a weakness, and I will find it.
Oh, he's doing the scan thing. Oh. Careful,
Keep
Koana.
it busy. I need time.
Well, Wokelmot barely gets threat on it because she's only doing 10% damage.
Right. Go for the legs.
Ah, hit his legs. There we go. There's only one leg, I guess. That takes normal damage. Blammo. That is a cool model, though. It is. It's an overall neat looking model.
Now we just have to keep it pinned.
Oh, she's doing the chain thing.
Thinking corner.
A protective current of ether. But whence does it flow? I've got it!
Okay.
One well-placed piercing round to the chest and... You're done for! That stemmed the flow of protective ether.
Yep.
There's nothing stopping us now.
That was a cool shot. Took the time to do all that animation work for his super sniper that he pulls out of, I don't know, somewhere.
Still not backing down, huh? Fine with me.
Yeah, Koana basically just blasted his plot armor. That is correct, yes. Just blasted off his plot armor. Yeah. That seems to be correct. Oh, multiple. I see. Oh, but it's... Ah, tricky. Okay. Just doubling the two mechanics up. I see. All right. Probably doubling up here, yeah. Oh, I went the wrong way. Ouch. I wanted to slide in. It's got a mouth cannon. Of course it does. Damn, that inflated its misery for almost 200k. White Mage got a DPS buff this patch. Gained some potencies. It was falling behind the other healers. Are these
We
soak
must
or avoid?
disperse that ether ere the river recovers it.
Oh, it's soak. Okay.
This is going to hurt.
Mine. Yeah, I got it anyway. Yeah, it's a cool model. It's definitely a big upgrade from the original T-Rex model that the skeleton is of. Just like the texture work and stuff. Definitely a huge improvement. Like, look at the texture work on all the rocks. It's cool.
We did it.
Very cool. Yeah, that was definitely a soak for sure.
The Hhetso, are they?
Oh, no, it's all right, brother. Damn.
The Ronek have all made it to Mechwa Hhetsoan. Hunters are scouring the area for any remaining threats, but the local fauna appear to have calmed down.
That's good.
We cannot thank you enough for your timely aid. You, most of all, Bow of Reason. We feared you would be loath to take direct action, yet you didn't hesitate to put your life on the line for our Hhetso.
I did no more than is a Dawn servant's duty.
Gotta do the every anime character trope. They have glasses.
The ethereal conductivity of those scales is astounding. I dare say we could repurpose them to create a device that emits controlled pulses of ether.
Is this story thread gonna go anywhere? Because that could be useful.
Ether resembling that of the predator the Ronek fear most.
Oh, we're gonna use it on the train at least? Okay.
It might work. If we struck the right balance, we would have the means to deter the Ronek from approaching the railroad without causing them undue distress.
Incredible! Kona, you've done it again.
I must say, I was hoping I'd never have to see one of these again.
Again.
Still haven't forgotten the last one. And it's been more than 20 years now. I had come as a trader to the camp in Lozeni Hetta. A camp that was obliterated in an instant by that monster.
Lozeni Hetta. That's where the Pelu Pelu trader found me as a babe. Please, can you tell me what you saw?
As I said, I had traveled there to trade with our fellow Hetsaro. Like us, they followed the Ronek. And like us, they were visited by a reaver. The fiend struck like a whirlwind in the night. It was chaos. I grabbed some token belongings and bolted in a panic, thinking only of getting as far away as possible. But even in my panicked state, I could not help but notice the young couple racing the other way, toward the fell creature. "We're distracted," I heard one cry. "Save our son! Save the Hhetso!" After that, nothing but the pounding of my heart and feet and Ronek thunder. I ran and ran, and as the sun broke the horizon, I found myself separated from both man and beast. Windborne words say that a group of survivors reunited with their remaining Ronek, and have long since moved on. But still more were never seen again, including the brave couple. Or so the story goes.
And what became of their child?
I'm afraid I don't know. But if he wasn't with the survivors, even if he lived through that night, the wilderness wouldn't have been kind to a little one out on his lonesome.
How convenient.
Maybe not. But perhaps a passing Pelu would. And one day, even a Dawn servant himself. All these years, I was convinced that my parents had left me behind to follow after the Ronek. But now I see, they didn't abandon me. They were trying to keep me safe. I've wasted so much time resenting them, when in truth, they gave me everything I have today. It is thanks to them that I live to know the warmth of family, even after they were gone. And now that I am Dawn's servant, all of Tuliyola is my family. A family I will always protect, as my parents protected me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We've certainly got more that we bargained for when we set out to solve our railroad conundrum. I can't imagine how Kono must be feeling right now. That Reaver, you don't suppose it was the same one that... To know that the Hhetso are safe is more than enough. Yet, would it be wrong to hope that in protecting them, we also avenged my parents? It is the least I owe to them, after all this time. I guess. I mean, there could be other ones, but sure, I get the connection. Hey, I thank you for standing by me, as Dawn's servant, and as the oft imperfect man beneath that mantle. Now, let us return our attention to the matter we came here to address, shall we? We have removed the root cause of the Ronek straying from their favored grazing, and obtained the tools to devise an additional precautionary measure, a silent whistle, as it were. This whistle must be capable of emitting pulses of ether strong enough that they will shy away from the tracks on instinct, yet not so strong as to drive them into a panic. If we can achieve this, it will be a far sight better than a traditional whistle, more effective and less stressful for the creatures themselves. This game, I still feel like needs a few more like motivational affirmation animations. It's also weird this game also has like over 100 emotes or something, and the NPCs seem to always use like the same 4. So, I don't know. Some of them are not, they're not going to use, are ridiculous. But it does seem like, how many times can they do anime face, fist clench, or anime hand fist clap, or hit it with the nod. It's just, they use the same like 3 or 4 emotes, that's all. Could use a little more, seasoning. It gets the job done, but after you've seen it like dozens and dozens and dozens of times. Let us turn to Shaoloni Station and begin work on it then.
while Lika and his crew will doubtless be relieved to finally have a solution.
Let's do it.
I am pleased to have seen with my own eyes the wisdom and courage our new Dawn servants will use to lead this nation. I wish them all the best.
Well, if the Hhetso has taken to you, you'll have to come and see us again. We will eventually when you become one of the, you'll probably be the... Probably the Gathering Society, I would assume. They're gonna be, right? It has to be. Because if you're looking at... I don't even have the current one talked to. They've got to be, right? They've got to be the Gatherers. Burn up, burner. Let me just take off on my freaking wings. Gotta get those new wings. Gotta get the Sphene wings. Hey. Hey. Nice wings. I have both. I just have the other ones that I'm turned on right now. This train will be ready in no time. A variety of artisans from across Tyrol have come to assist with the railroad, so I foresee no difficulty in creating the whistle that Kohana proposed. Kohana?
I always carry a spare pair of spectacles or two, as it can be difficult to find replacements outside the city. You wouldn't believe how many I went through during the Rite of Succession.
Ha! Gotcha.
You look pleased about something. Good news with the railroad, I take it. So the Ronak were avoiding a predator. Smart ones they are. Valcorno's not too bad himself. With that whistle idea, sit tight. We'll have this train on the tracks before you know it.
Sit tight? Yes. You have to... That's a funny pop-up. You can just say no and just not see the cutscene, I guess. That's cute. That's cute. Voiced cutscene.
We're ready to go.
Let's go. It's a bit backloaded on the voiced cutscene so far. It's funeral and then nothing until the after the dungeon.
Whoa. She looks as good as new.
If I had time to do a proper job, could have really made her shine. Had to cobble together the exterior with spare parts. We refurbished the interior, though. Not that you can appreciate it from out here. But as far as the Ronak are concerned, we've spared no effort.
Okay.
From the ballast to the ties, we've adjusted every bit of the track so she'll run quiet as a field mouse.
You and your crew have worked wonders. Our nation is in your debt.
Come now. If anything, credit's due to Tuliolal. It's thanks to the folk you recruited from every corner of the continent that we were able to get her up and running so quickly. Besides, the ethereal whistle's the true marvel, and we wouldn't have that without the scales you brought us.
What I was wondering if there was going to be use for those for more than just this specific quest, because very potent conductors of ether could come in handy with the overall stuff we're doing with like the portaling and whatnot that we're trying to figure out, and not just a silent animal whistle for a train.
However grateful you are, know that we're even more thankful.
Right. If we're done talking, let's put this train through our paces.
Okay. Hit it with the nod. Yeah, it's not Monster Hunter enough. We can't just hunt the crystal T-Rexes to get more of them. Fair. Not yet, at least. What if they're in the combat exploration zone coming up with the artifacts? This next patch, though.
There's a Ronek up ahead.
Now, to test our whistle.
Oh, the whistle isn't actually a whistle that works by air flowing through it as the train moves? Of course not. Why would it be? Okay.
Aunt, just point it in the general direction and...
It's moving away. Meanwhile, our friends over there appear wholly unperturbed.
You're just running after the train? That's not really far from the station.
With this, we can alert those who wander too close without disturbing the rest of the herd.
A roaring success! In a quiet way, like. Then with your permission, Vow of Reason, the Shaktaral Railroad is back in service.
All right. Cat hair from on high. I was on my forehead and I just knocked it into my eyeball. Ah! The reason why I brought up like the crystal thing, so this MSQ is obviously like, it's just world building in pretty low key, right? Because we don't have some like crazy something or other going on. But obviously we know the story is gonna like slowly pick up. So I'm wondering at what little points they're like seeding for things in the future. Because if you take the same context, DAWNTRAIL is over with this expansion. But the previous stories always trailed into like the 0.2 to 0.3 patches. Like if you look at Shadowbringers, for example, or Stormblood, the 0.3 patch was like the end of that story because it pitch shifted into the next expansion. So the Stormblood 0.3 patch shifted at 0.3 to Shadowbringers. And same thing with Shadowbringers at 0.3 shifted to Endwalker. And it's Endwalker's patch content is a self-contained story with 0. But I'm wondering if they're going to still have that, like, the slow build to, like, the 0.3, and then we'll have that shift. Then the 0.4, then the 5, and the 5.5 that lead us into the next expansion, which is a year plus from now. But I wonder where... I'm trying to, like, pay attention and keep a mental note of, like, these things we're doing along the way. Like, what is important? Why I open with the fact that we don't know where Sphene is, and Ystol's working on the travel and stuff like that, so I'm wondering at what little breadcrumbs they're giving us now that we'll start seeing in 4 months and then 8 months from now. I expect that with the Reaver gone, the Ronik will gradually return to their old habits and we won't see so many approaching the tracks. It is good to see that the whistle will be effective in the meantime, however. Now, anyone will be able to come and go from the dome as they please. I can't wait to spread the word in Alexandria. With that, I believe our work here is done. The fine people of Shaktaral Railing can take it from here.
The folks that Val Kawana brought to help rebuild the railroad have already returned home, and I hope we can give them a ride someday.
But I hope even, because they already went. But you can get all the way at least to Vanguard, because Vanguard's all the way, like, there's a lot of mountain range you go through to get to Vanguard. Then there's a whole open plain section from the cutscene, so it actually is quite a bit of distance. If you take the cutscene without pauses and see how much distance it was. But I can't imagine, a mile or two, couple miles maybe, in overall distance to the dome. Once you get to the actual cave here, the tunnel. For a while there, we were really worried we would never get the railroad in again. But now the test drive was a success, you can breathe easy and start hauling people to and from the dome. First Charloni and then the continent. Watch out, Jacques Terrell. Here we come.
I share the sentiment. We've got a mountain of work ahead of us to ensure smooth operations. Time to get back to it. The efforts of all here today have not gone unnoticed. Once more, I thank you.
Very good.
As for our own work, I trust you can handle the matters in Alexandria, Lamachia?
Here we go. Because now we get to see if part of the breadcrumb starts now.
It won't be as I once envisioned, but perhaps someday we can take the train journey to Yasulani together.
Too many gruff, vibrating voices. Not enough drink breaks. As you can see, as with everything, last quest for this patch, Crossroads. Which, where are we? Is this just in the back room somewhere? Where is this? Everyone to stand still. Wuklamot is ready to race back to Alexandria. We'll see. It's on the moon, sure. All right. Let's see if this is a bit of a... It'll push towards 7.2. Well, let's see if it actually takes us a little further than that. Well, it's possible that Shale made some headway by now, and regardless, we should spread the word the railroad's been restored to service.
Shale, what do you have her working on?
It's only been a couple hours. Is she really going to have progress on all that? Maybe, I don't know.
Galulja's mother.
I'd feel the same in his shoes. Have felt the same. Some questions are painful to leave unanswered. Well, you had to watch your mom die a second time, which is pretty rough. I guess the first time you didn't watch, but the second time it wasn't even really her, so poor Aaronville. There's no cause to look at me like that. The Kapkiwi we met may have only been a simulacrum, but her memory was real. I needn't search for her while what she left behind, because she left it with me. I will carry it always. You see it? The turn there on purpose. I mean, it's also the backpack, but it's also this. That's cute. Oh, it's gonna put the camera right into it. There you go. Speaking of things you're carrying, is that a teeny weeny Kafkiwa?
What? No.
It's really a token from Alexandria. Our friends in Oblivia would not take no for an answer, but I thought it was a good souvenir as any. Whatever you say. For what it's worth, I think it's a nice way to bring her with you on your travels. It's not even Kafkiwa, it's just the robot that she was in to find us. But he's not gonna have a little, like, small stuffed animal of his mom. That'd be weird. That'd be weird. Considering that Vieira women and men to a degree, don't really age after a certain point. They're like Saiyans. Yes, well, we're off to the dome now, aren't you? I thought I might join you for a time, but if there is aught I can do for the people there, much changed though it is, I will consider it my home. Of course. We can give you the full story on the way. Let's go. It will be weird until we get a minion of her. That's true. We don't have a Kafkiwa minion yet, do we? Where are we going? Oh, all the way to the friggin' back room. All right, take me away. Hey, nice wings. Yeah, I don't think we have one yet, but it's only a matter of time. You know we're going to. Pretty sure like every major character gets a little minion, wind up minion eventually. Yes. So, Roger was conducting secret research in Yawiwata. I haven't said it in an hour, so I can't remember how to pronounce it. Uweyawata. I have some memories of that place from my childhood. Really? You must be exhausted. Shall I nip out for an energy tonic? You mean the one that gave me a Super Saiyan rainbow aura? That's not. Aranville is wearing his Kafkiwa. That makes me happy. Yeah, that's so dorky. That's cute, though. Glad you're back. We wouldn't want to keep Gulja here waiting any longer than necessary. Looks like we arrived at a good time. Okie dokie. So it's been like 3 hours. What have you found out? A simple yet elegant solution, and thus is the railroad back in operation. Meanwhile, Shale has nearly finished processing the data. Nearly finished? She's able to share her findings with us imminently. Yo, Stola! Am I interrupting something, I gather? Hello? Why, Stola, what brings you here? I've seen enough of the gate in the Sky Deep Cenote for now, and I'm shifting my investigation to living memory. While there, I thought I would do well to have the company of an expert on electrope. I'd like to take a close look at the place myself. I can join you once we're finished here. This is totally a setup for later, for sure. Okay. Very good. I can't imagine we're only going to get those... We're not going to get any more dungeons in living memory. Right? Wonder if the exploration zone might be tied to that. Or if the cosmic exploration is being set up here. It's like too many little threads. I don't know. Lest you fear I've forgotten, once I made headway with living memory, the key in your keeping shall be the next subject of my scrutiny. Okay, yes, ma'am. Oh, gosh. Even though it's just sitting on the table back at my cabin. Incredibly powerful time and...
There was a mountain of data to sift through, much of it tantalizing, I admit. But it will take time to fully decrypt everything that piques my interest, so... To answer our immediate question, I've been concentrating my efforts on the audio saved by Taishul Jah herself.
Oh.
While I've not listened to it yet, I have a selection ready for playback. Would you like to hear it now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please.
All right. Several audio files will now play in sequence.
Okay. Uh-huh. It's a pretty good little in joke. That's good. I like that.
My name is Teishalja, and I decided to record this to help me put my thoughts in order, I suppose.
Mother?
We don't know that yet.
Officially I was a Virgin with the Lance Guard. I was part of a contingent dispatched to Yasulani to hunt a Tural Vidral that was wreaking havoc. After our mission was complete, I elected to remain. It was the perfect opportunity to document the geographic distribution of medicinal herbs in this region. Or so I said when requesting special dispensation. In truth, I could not bear to return to Tuliolal. I had hoped to aid Commander Zoralja in the right of succession, but he did not so much as look my way. I was never in contention, of course, one of the nameless many in his army. To go back and face that reality was too much for me, so I ran. And in my cowardice, I stumbled upon this path. A path that changed my life. When the dome appeared, I found myself trapped within, and reunited with my commander. How am I to speak of Commander Zoralja? I admired him. His incontestable strength, his unwavering focus. He was a man of great passions. I watched him, captivated by his intensity. From afar, I would not dare approach. And in watching, I came to know him. His eyes too sought the distance, but not as mine did. He yearned not for another, but something else, beyond the horizon. That gaze would never fall upon me. I knew. The experiment will soon proceed to its next phase, and when it does, as he promised, I will have my heart's desire. Today. It should have been today. A new beginning. What I have dreamed of for so long. I hold a future in my arms. If he could see him, embrace him, surely that would be enough. So full of hope I was. A foolish hope.
Its scales are blue.
He's your son.
No, I can't. I don't know how. How could I? How? To raise a child, be a father. I don't. I can't. No! Get it away from me. Get that thing away from me!
Shh. It's all right, little one. Papa was just surprised. That's all. He'll come around. We'll be a happy family. Can you look at shouting for me? The research hasn't been going well, but I can't let him take it out on my baby. Hush now, little one. I know just where to hide you.
That's all of them.
Well.
He was abandoned, the poor dear. We found him in the drift downs a few years ago.
We know some manner of accident happened at the facility after this was recorded. Perhaps your mother couldn't come back for you.
Hey, Gololcha.
I'm fine, Lamachi. Father and mother, they were both so lonely. If we could have been together, maybe they wouldn't have been. But sometimes things don't work out, no matter how hard you try. I can't tell if I'm happier now. But it's better to know, I think. Thank you, everyone.
Aw. Taishelja left written records as well. I'll compile them for Galulja. Perhaps something in them will be of comfort. No matter how brave a face Galulja puts on, I expect it will take him time to come to terms with this. He is a strong one, though. You didn't worry too much. Why leave such a record, you ask? I cannot be certain, but I believe Taishelja simply wanted someone to know how she felt, to understand.
What a mess.
Ah! If the dome had not appeared, Taishelja's tale would have been a very different. Yet, whether or not she would have been happier, I cannot say. You may find it hard to believe, but until the rite of succession, Soroja was a good brother to me. Always. And I thought that Papa was the best father anyone could ask for. I don't want to think that the time spent together as a family was a lie, but by the same token, the bitterness my brother harbored was all too real. It's okay. I wanted to know more about my parents, and now I do. And I don't regret it. I have Lamachi and Koana and you. I'm not lonely now. Yeah. Little green lizard nugget. Yeah, written records. I wonder if that'll come into play at all. It's better to know. A profound response for one so young. So I wish he didn't have to be. Galulja is indeed wise beyond his years. Yet, one never outgrows the need for dependable companions. 'Tis fortunate that he has you. Thank you, Shale. Because of you, I've got to hear my mother's whole story. Aw. Like big sister vibes. You heard it because you were brave enough to listen, Galulja. If you remember one thing, remember that. Now then, having shared what I can at present, I'm ready to head to live in memory when you are. I am planning to be thorough, so we'll need to stop for supplies on the way. That said, I promise we won't remain over long. Just 4 months. Unless we're going now? Oh, we're going now. So we're seeding. Okay. I know we'll have much and more to attend to. For now, farewell. Oh no, did they leave? And we are... Okay, we stay here. We don't go with them right now. All right. One wouldn't know if you look at them, but Shell and Y'shtola are birds of a feather. An incorrigibly restless feather. I'll stick around for a while. Let me know if you need me. Is Shell going to be alright out there? This whole time she was working on the data, I never saw her take a break. With the railroad ready, I'd like to get some idea of how many returnees we can expect before heading back to Tuliolo. The twins have yet to return. I hope everything is alright. That is true. Where are those knuckleheads?
A word before you leave. Our network's already spreading word of the railroad. We expected people would be clamoring to get on the first train back. If the reaction has been the polar opposite, scant few seem inclined to depart Alexandria anytime soon.
What? When we spoke before, you said many from Tuliolo were eager to reunite with friends and family. Maybe they're concerned about getting through Vanguard. If so, we could take turns accompanying them. In any case, we need to speak with the people ourselves. Start at Laynode 9. Ah, go talk to 3 NPCs. Got it.
I'm surprised as you are. Everyone was keen to pack their bags before, but now that the journey's possible, they can't be bothered?
Yep. I mean, that's just, it's a form of remorse. You want something real bad, but then once it's just able to be given to you, now you're not sure if you want it as much, or you're scared to do it. You're scared to undertake that life change when you finally can, given the opportunity anyway. Very curious. There may still be people gathering at Praxis Park. Let's try there first. Okay.
The people look uneasy. Did something happen?
Have you heard? Someone was killed in the Thunder Yards.
Ah, here's the setup. In the Thunder Yards, okay.
The Thunder Yards was one of the hunters slain by a beast.
Is that Gaia's voice actor also doing some extra character work?
It was a hunter, all right, and a veteran at that. But it was no fiend that did him in. Only a random bolt of lightning.
And that sounds like Estinian, just not as gruff.
Such a senseless way to die. They say that he expended his last soul cells during Zaraljar's attack on the city.
For an upright, hard-working man to meet such an unceremonious end, it feels wrong.
But we'll be fine, won't we? Even if the system no longer erases our memory of the departed, the regulators continue to function. I shan't go before my time. Growing old and passing peacefully with the help of the ushers is only natural.
Well, you may think so, but how are we to know? We have no memory of those who have gone. More may have met violent deaths than passed from old age, and we would be blissfully unaware. It could happen to you, or me, to any of us.
Angry baby with a mustache. They're weird. Lalafels with mustaches and facial hair. Yeah, I get it.
Then what are we to do? Spend every waking moment thinking only of how we might die?
Well.
With time, I had hoped that they'd be able to adjust to their new situation. But it's only gotten worse.
Look! It's Queen Sphene!
Nani?
What?
Help, Queen Sphene! The grown-ups are really upset, and I don't know what to do.
Ah.
I see that you are as kind-hearted as ever, Nico. Never fear. I'm here to set things aright.
I know there's a MacGuffin with her tiara, her crown, but I hope this is not some weird she's back in the story thing with some stupidness, because it really removes her sacrifice and her growth at the end. Well, the AI's growth at the end. It really would muddle that. So, what?
I don't understand. Sphene is gone. Forever.
What did you do?
You there, Gussin. You were the Queen's aide, weren't you?
What did you do?
What's the meaning of this?
Begging your pardon, Vow of Resolve. But Her Majesty Queen Sphene is paying visit to her people, as is her wont.
What are you talking about? Sphene is dead. You officiated the funeral yourself.
Oh, that's one way to put it. Lamachi, you also turned off every piece of her memory, and she faded from all existence because the ether drained from the entire spire.
We all placed flowers to mourn her passing.
Uh-oh.
A funeral? For Her Majesty? What a curious jest. You know full well that ceremony was to commemorate those lives lost during the attack of Alexandria.
I wasn't going to say anything when I first saw this cutscene during your funeral hours ago, but it did specifically push in on the damn head Wi-Fi buttons on two different characters, him and the kid. So, yeah.
Her Majesty walks among her people that she might support them in this most trying of times. Surely that is not cause for consternation.
Your Majesty, won't you free us from these terrible memories of the departed? This is no way to live, not for us, nor our children.
It's so awkwardly, like, it's not in your face, but this whole stuff with it's so insidious, right? Like, yes, it was sad earlier, but this just makes it so much more, like, gross and, like, ugh, like, it just, ugh. Damn it.
I wish that I could. Truly I do. But with living memories shut down, even I cannot restore the system that once afforded us that comfort.
Oh, so she said it right there. Well, this fake copy of a fake copy. She said living memory shut down. So now at least Solution 9 knows.
You needn't fret, however. I have prepared an alternate solution.
X.
All of us shall be made endless.
No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no.
I have created a new system that allows you to transplant your memories directly into an ethereal vessel. One not reliant upon soul cells. This way, you need never again fear death. You may live as you please, and for as long as you like. Our stores of ether are, at present, not sufficient to provide this boon to everyone. But some of you received neo-regulators for the funeral ceremony, did you not? And there are still more we have yet to distribute. 5,000 in all.
You hear the voice change? The voice, I don't know if the Japanese or the other voices do this, but there's like two different Sphene voices. Obviously, the third one is the Interphos Queen Eternal. I don't know if that's the same voice actor, but if it is, that's awesome. But Sphene has two different, the character we see here with the green silly hair, whatever, she has two different voices.
One day soon, those with neo-regulators will be called to join the Endless, and thence be free of suffering forevermore.
But only 5,000 of us?
You Victral!
Oh shit.
The real Sphene would never be content to save only some of her people. Who are you?
Damn.
I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
Another Kubrick stare. A light one.
Let's return to the back room. I need to calm down, and then we'll talk.
I know there are some people around, or you could just slam your axe into whatever Sphene is right now, and then if she just becomes one of those robots with the hologram, you'd at least have that information. But the people now have their memories erased of the funeral, so that would be unfortunate. And this can't be tied to the director of the Arcadian, who's also up to some shady shit. So what the hell, man? Yeah, but her brooch on her waist and the her tiara are unique, apparently. Should have looked back at us. Yep. Yeah. I don't know if that's someone's specific theme song, so I'm pretty sure that song gets used during multiple different scenes. I don't think that theme song could be tied to one individual person. Well... Shit. Without the Meso terminal, how does she propose to create new Endless? We must contact Y'shtola as soon as possible. But see you in 4 months. Queen Sphene has returned? How? See, like Galulja, they don't have the head replicator do-bobbers, so they're gonna know. Seriously, what was that? Sphene was erased. If she's back, then are the Endless? Oh, I wonder if I can go to live memory right now if there's anything different. Probably not until next patch, I imagine.
There's not to report yet. We have all eyes and ears out in Everkeep and Heritage found.
Hello, twins. We've heard about the Queen of Reason's proclamation. The rumors spread through the district like wildfire. You saw Sphene with your own eyes then? So it wasn't someone else? No. Even Sphene was just a hologram on top of a robot. So it's still not even really her anyway, regardless of whoever the hell's doing this and clearly giving us the side anime Vegeta smirk. Ah, yes, time to stand around in a rectangle. There's too many of us for a circle. We only caught the proclamation from a distance, but I can tell you that the message about Neo-regulators was received with utmost clarity. Neo-regulators. It couldn't have been Sphene. She should have been destroyed with the Meso-terminal shut down. Without a single Alexandrian to bear witness, presented with an identical figure claiming to be their beloved queen, 'tis no surprise that they would choose to believe she's alive. No, but clearly someone's fucking with the regulators and tampering with the memory stuff anyway. We saw it with Gosam. What is troubling, however, is their denial the funeral was held in their honor. In her honor, rather. As if their memories had been erased. Catch up, Alphido, catch up! I didn't click yet. Catch up, boy. Given that the members of Oblivion remain unaffected, that was likely the work of the regulators. But by whose design? Someone smart enough to play it being the Queen of Reason in that guise. Even if some suspect deception, most of Alexandria will be on her side. Yeah. Need to find out who she really is. It's a very curious story point, just bringing her back like that, but obviously it's not her. So who's doing that? Is it just some random new MacGuffin character? While I agree wholeheartedly, we should avoid drawing more attention than we already have. We must be patient until Oblivion's network turns up a lead, or until our self-proclaimed queen makes her next move, or in 4 months. That's it. That's where it ends. That's it. What? Okay, it's an outro cutscene. I'm about to say. Meanwhile, in living memory.
Where am I? My people? Are they safe?
In fear of death, the people turn to Queen Reborn, their fates to learn. See you in 4 months! Shit! A pity Y'shtola was not present for Sphene's return. Well, apparently. A cursory glance at the imposter's ether would have doubtless been enough to confirm our suspicion beyond a doubt. Shale said she left this machine running to process more of the data from the field station. Is it done yet? No, I'm sorry, Galulja. You'll have to wait days to my 4 months. Though we have too little information to draw ourselves a conclusion as of yet, I dare say the Queen of Reason's behavior henceforth will be illuminating.
Neo-regulators. Heard the idea came from the citizenry, but something doesn't sit right. We'll look into this.
Yeah, I don't know. There's too many little things to think about, because we know that Yoshi P set us up to pay attention to Sphene and her special TR regulator or whatever, and I guess like the brooch power source, the little bag she has on her dress. Something's weird about them. The camera during storytelling has like zoomed in and pushed in on those specifically, because if it was actually Sphene or whatever, like it was for some reason biological Sphene, then it wouldn't have done the Kubrick stare. It wasn't a low angled one, but it was still like forward with the you know, smushed eyes or whatever. But the smirk seals it. That I could it really be just a remnant of the actual Sphene AI? Like it wasn't all destroyed? Like that's a backup of a backup or something? The whole like why am I and then looking at her hand, if that was her. I couldn't tell because of all the wiggly wobbly frame if it's supposed to mean like that was her vision, or if she was like phasing in and out kind of, because obviously she would have still been a hologram, but then she was an image placed on top of just one of those Solution 9 guards, the soldier guards, because the other time that she got, you know, knocked out or whatever, that she just reappears on a different one. So many questions. It didn't sound like Sphene at first, but it did sound like her on one of the lines. So also it could just be a brand new character. It could be a totally new character. Who knows? We're not gonna know for 4 months. You know what I mean? So, well, yeah, that's what I was saying with the original her. But I mean, that's like a long time ago, and that would have meant they would have kept her body and in stasis or something and preserved it like in cryo sleep or whatever. Obviously, we found out from the dungeon that clearly they have like suspended animation stuff, so that could have been a thing. But Alexandria fell, you know, decades and decades ago. So, but if it was real, if that person we saw through their eyes was real Sphene, it couldn't have been the one we saw at the end there that gave us the weird Vegeta smirk, because she A, wouldn't know who we were, and B, wouldn't be like, haha, Bucklamat, evil smirk. You know, they wouldn't have done that. So either we have two different characters at play here. One's a brand new one. So, I don't know, something. I'm just babbling at the end here, trying to get my early thoughts in order. We'll see. That's an interesting hook. This patch definitely started out pretty lightweight. We're still within this whole like DAWNTRAIL story. We're not like being pushed away from it yet. But again, that's because if they're doing the whole point 3 thing, that means that DAWNTRAIL's story entirely won't end until point 3. So we have to wait for point 2 and then point 3 story if they're doing that, which they've done many expansions before. So, all right, well, that's that. Thank you for watching on the YouTube side. If you want to watch my previous MSQ chunks or any of the Savage Raid videos that have come out, I don't know by the time this lands if the M4S video will be out or soon after. My static team only gets to raid like 3 or 4 hours a week, so we only get so much time to work on stuff, but we're at, 35, 36% on Wicked Thunder, almost done there, and there'll be the Alliance Raid series, my first initial playthrough and reactions of that coming out, so little things here and there if you want Final Fantasy stuff, or playing Remedyverse games now, Alan Wake 1 into Control and Alan Wake 2, got Red Dead Redemption 2 on the horizon, and a whole bunch of stuff before that, so yeah. Thank you for watching and or listening in the background, and I'll see you in the next one.